Video games are home to some of the best written and most iconic characters throughout all of media. Join us as we dive into the history of gaming's greatest characters, and to start our look at this pantheon of greats, we'll be delving into the God of War series and discussing PlayStation's unofficial mascot, Kratos. The Ghost of Sparta evolved from humble beginnings as a mortal warrior until his ascension as a god of war. His nickname comes from a curse bestowed upon him, his pale skin being the ashes of the family he lost. The world weaved by Sony Santa Monica has captivated fans for 2 decades at this point and shows no sign of stopping. In 2005, the original God of War was released. It was a brutal action-adventure game where players assumed the role of Kratos, Spartan warrior seeking vengeance against the gods of Olympus, specifically Ares in this installment for betraying him and for the deaths of his wife and his daughter Calliope. Kratos was characterized by his unrelenting rage, his thirst for revenge, and his willingness to do whatever it takes to achieve his goals. These character traits would eventually be pushed aside in newer entries as the character of Kratos evolved, becoming a father in a new world, but still fighting against the demons of his past. We'll discuss more on that later. Kratos' famed Blades of Chaos are his weapon of choice and exemplify what he aims to bring to the Greek world. While he was wronged by the former god of war, Ares, Kratos' attempts at revenge are the catalyst for the war ahead. The opening of Pandora's box and the release of the evils trapped inside are what inevitably lead to the downfall of the Greek world. But there was some good to come from this as well. In the direct sequel, God of War 2, Kratos' quest for vengeance continued as he waged war against the gods of Olympus, culminating in an epic showdown with Zeus himself. But it wasn't until the release of God of War 3 in 2010 that Kratos' story reached its climax. In this incredible conclusion to the original trilogy, Kratos unleashed his fury on the gods of Olympus in a spectacle of violence and chaos, taking down the entire Greek pantheon one by one and leaving nothing behind, sacrificing even himself and the world around him for his cause. The events of God of War 3 led to a change in Kratos' character. Amidst all of the bloodshed, a seed of doubt began to grow within Kratos. He realised that his thirst for vengeance had only brought him more pain and suffering, and he sought a way to break free from the cycle of violence that had consumed his life. With the original trilogy out of the way, where did Sony Santa Monica take Kratos next? There are a few spin-offs and prequels such as Ghost of Sparta in 2010 and Ascension in 2013, but it would be 8 years from God of War 3's release until we saw the next evolution of Kratos' character. God of War 2018 took a new direction for the series and was a dramatic departure from what the series had been before. A masterful reimagining of the series that acted as a sequel while providing an entirely fresh experience in a Norse mythology setting as opposed to the Greek mythology we were used to. Kratos underwent a significant redesign, both in terms of appearance and characterization. The iconic Blades of Chaos were replaced, for a time, by the Leviathan Axe, a weapon imbued with Norse magic and pretty much the polar opposite to the blades of old. Kratos is no longer the vengeful warrior we once knew. He has become a father once again, having to raise his son Atreus, while grappling with the weight of his past and the responsibilities of parenthood. Their journey to take Atreus' mother's ashes to Jotunheim takes them across the Norse world and provides many scenarios that test Kratos' resolve and aim to push him towards his former path. It's the strength of his character that would ultimately lead him to become a better man despite adversity. The man once filled with rage has learnt the value of empathy, compassion, and forgiveness. The story from God of War 2018 to the recent God of War Ragnarok, and even the free DLC Valhalla, showcases not only this change in Kratos, but the evolution of his son Atreus. Ragnarok itself is an ending, but it provides a means for Kratos to move on with his life and fulfill his role as the new God of War in the Norse world, one that focuses less on chaos and more on compassion. Of all the evils Kratos unknowingly released from Pandora's box in the original trilogy, he finally came to terms with the one thing that even his younger self was willing to sacrifice himself for, to become the god of hope, not war. That was our dive into the history of Kratos, one of gaming's best characters and an example of excellent storytelling and evolution in gaming. If you would like to see us take a look at some of gaming's other iconic characters, leave a like, comment, and also don't forget to subscribe, it really helps us out, and we'll see you next time.
I believe I would like to sit here for a while.